Insurance companies and aftermarket parts manufacturers claim they've saved consumers millions of dollars by using cheaper imitation parts. But let's take a closer look at the numbers and find out who's really saving money.
The Property Casualty Insurers Association of America put together a special report in January of 2013 arguing that the use of aftermarket parts has reduced the amount that insurers have had to pay on many claims.
In their report, insurers argue that if they didn't save this money by using aftermarket parts, these costs could be passed on to the drivers in the form of higher premiums. But what have we seen in actual practice? Your car insurance premiums are going up. In 2015, GEICO premiums increased 10% from 2014. Allstate is also raising their insurance rates, despite a 13% increase in profits in the first quarter of 2015.
And that's where these cost savings are going, to your insurance company's bottom line. Car insurance premiums overall were up nearly 10% compared to the previous year.
But just for the sake of argument, let's pretend that the cost insurance companies save by using cheaper aftermarket parts actually did go to the policyholder. In the insurance industry's report, this would translate to a savings of between $18 and $24 for each policyholder. So in theory, using aftermarket parts on your car could save you as much as $24 a year on your insurance payments.
But what exactly happens when your car is repaired with an imitation part? Aftermarket parts have not been designed by the original manufacturer, and they don't fit your vehicle's structure the way genuine replacement parts do. When a body shop uses one of these parts, they have to force these imitation parts to fit. This often means drilling holes, warping panels, and otherwise altering your vehicle.
When these types of repairs are performed, your vehicle suffers a significant loss in value. It's referred to as repair-related diminished value, and it can have a huge impact when you go to sell or trade your car in. When the person inspecting your vehicle sees that these kinds of alterations were made, the amount they're willing to give you for your car is less than it would have been if genuine parts had been used. That $24 a year savings on your insurance payments is likely to seem insignificant when you compare it to the amount you've lost on your investment.
Even CAPA, an organization that tests and certifies aftermarket parts and has an interest in demonstrating that aftermarket parts are acceptable, found that 95% of the non-CAPA certified parts failed to meet comparability requirements to OEM. In their words, the industry complaints about the quality of the majority of the aftermarket parts used every day may be well-founded. This means that consumers may get aftermarket parts that are not comparable to their car brand counterparts.
Naturally, CAPA claims that their certified aftermarket parts are the exception to the rule. But in our experience in repairing cars and in calculating the repair-related loss in value, CAPA certified aftermarket parts have just as many problems with fit, finish, performance, and safety as the other 80% of aftermarket parts.
But when you're talking about savings for the consumer, all of this is ultimately irrelevant because those savings don't get passed on. At the end of the day, when insurers insist on the use of aftermarket parts, they're doing this to maximize their own profits, and the consumer loses out on both sides of the equation.